Hello, everybody. Actually, I need to fix something. Sorry, I think, this technology. Let me turn off Bluetooth there. And then that would be cool if I could use my earbuds again that I have in here. Bear with me for a second. Bluetooth. Where's my Bluetooth? Do-do-do. Oh, hello. Say hi if you're here. Are you here? Oh, here we go. AirPods connected. My AirPods are here. I just got to the shop. I was doing my, oh, yes, here. Okay, hi, admin. So that's a good confirmation that people are out there in the world. Let me click this button. Bluetooth. Maybe I need to actually disconnect from my phone. Not connected. And then, so let's see. What if I take them out of my ear and put them on again? Hello? Oh, maybe the battery's dying. Oh boy. Maybe we don't get earbuds today. AirPods. That's okay. You can hear me fine. Yeah, of course you can hear me fine because I'm right next to the computer. All right. Guys, I think I wore out my AirPod things, when I was doing the laundry because I was getting a lot of phone calls and I was getting text messages chatted to my ears and Siri was reading them to me. That was pretty interesting. And then I was able to write back by saying reply. Oh, hey, what's up? Yo, Nelson, what's up? Is Levi there? Hey guys, awesome. I'm glad you were able to connect onto this. I think last time, if you're here now and you tried to connect last time and the link didn't work, it's because we sent out a link and then I went on and clicked a whole nother button and created another live stream that was separate from the link. Cool. All right. Awesome. You guys are doing good. All right. Awesome. So we got them from the Manhattan. And yeah, so welcome to live Q&A at SKATEYOGI. I'm Kevin. I'm here just kind of, I stop in every now and then. I live right around the corner. So even with the lockdown, I've been popping in from time to time. And I really miss kind of hanging out with everyone when I'm over here. So we thought it would be fun to try kind of doing like a virtual hangout. We're calling it a live Q&A, so you can always chat any questions you have or anything really, like if you want to see me try to do a trick, or if you've got a question about anything like skate related or even not skate related, because sometimes when you're hanging out at the skate shop, it's just like a community center with all kinds of things going on. So people like checking out SKATEYOGI right now. Right now we're still doing a kind of like a curbside pickup hours for phase 1. That means you can go online and pick out everything that we've got, everything in the shop we've got up online. And I don't know if you guys are aware of this, to give you a little bit of the behind the scenes. Because of COVID, there's actually been a little bit of a shortage of skate gear. And you can see the wall behind me is always totally full. And for the first time in like 3 years, there's actually quite a few empty spots. And also over there, I think there's been a shortage of trucks. And as a result of that, actually, you know what? Hold on one second here. We've got some people at the door. I'm just going to give them a flyer real quick. So this is really like a... Hey guys, here's a flyer for our summer camp. Oh, that's great. We are going to be running it. We finally got the go-ahead last week. So if you're interested, you can check that out. Starting July 6th.
What age?
6 to 13 for the camp here. And then we have an intermediate camp from ages 9 to 15.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, that's great. Thanks so much.
Definitely. All right. Wow, it's like a real shop experience. The phone is ringing. There's people at the door. That's cool. I mean, that's kind of what we were, that's what we do here. I just got in, so let me pick up my skateboard, bringing you around. Got my computer. What was I talking about? Oh man, yeah, so the supply chain is really crazy. Like you can go on some of the distributors like Skate One that does all of the Powell and Bones and mini logo stuff, they have like severe shortages, so it's hard to get any gear there. And then I've even been going on like trying to like restock trucks has been tricky. So right now we really only have like 8-inch axle trucks, like Indy 139s. So it's starting to become an issue for skate gear. So not a good time to break an axle or something, but I think decks are still they're still in supply. Let me get my stool, and actually while I'm at it, let me right here. The one thing we did just get in, you can see all these boxes behind me. This is a big order that we just got in from 888. So that's like all of these helmets and pad sets and everything. When I was talking to our sales rep there, I guess there's been a big boom in safety gear, because I think now people are seeing skateboarding and other roller sports like inline and roller skating as a very popular outdoor activity where you can social distance and still get out and move around. But at the same time, people want to play it safe and not end up in the emergency room with a broken wrist or something like that. So they're wearing their pads probably more frequently than usual. So that's interesting. We're thinking like, actually, I see a lot of people coming, and besides like the diehard skateboarders, we're seeing a lot of people in taking this moment in time as a chance to take up skateboarding. People that haven't started before, both kids. I've seen like 2 weeks ago, there was a pack of probably 10-year-old girls or so that all decided to start skating. And then I've gotten quite a few adult beginners. It's funny when I get the call, sometimes when I start to talk to them, they say that they've seen the videos, and then like, well, I'm the one that's in most of the videos, so they like recognize my voice. And so that's kind of funny. And I mentioned it even in our newsletter last week that the whole virtual thing is kind of just a nice, like being virtual doesn't mean not being in person, or like, having that like IRL connection with people in real, did I say that right? IRL? Yeah, in real life. So people might discover SKATEYOGI through our videos, or they might go to our website. A lot of people find our website and then check out our videos. And that's like a little bit of a lower commitment to like see what we're all about. And then they decide to get a skateboard and then maybe check out some of our tutorials. And I heard a lot of adult beginners in particular looking forward to our classes, because tutorials are great for getting like kind of the basic concepts, but doing it in a group, like that group energy, and also the constant feedback you're getting from both your teachers and your peers is really great. Yeah. Take a sip from my water bottle from a few summers ago. I think this was 2 summers ago. SKATEYOGI water bottle. I'm gonna do some SKATEYOGI news. What's new? As of last Wednesday, I think last Wednesday we mentioned we are a go for summer camp. So we are really happy to be able to do an in-person summer day camp program this year. When we first got the CDC guidance and the American Camp Association field guide for the whole country and everything, we read through that, and it was pretty quickly, we saw that as a small camp anyways, like by design, and that we're outside a lot of the times, many of the requirements that they're talking about for social distancing and kind of like spacing, we already meet, like even when we're not like doing anything special. And then there's a few other things that we were looking at that we would have to consider, like more kind of a more routine cleaning and disinfection schedule and stuff like that. But it wasn't until last night that we got the official New York State guidance on day camps. And we looked through it, and there's no surprises. If anything, it's just a little more clear on how we're expected to operate. And they're looking at groups of 10 campers or less as being ideal, or like no more than 10 campers. And then in addition to that, some teaching staff. We're keeping our groups at 8 and with 2 teachers. So we're going to be, really well within that. So we're happy that, we'll be able to meet those requirements very easily. And really, like we do 2 programs. We do the one here at SKATEYOGI, where we use this as our home base, and then we go into Prospect Park or nearby to do some street skating. That program will be modified a bit, so we won't have any parents or any extra siblings coming into Skate Yogi. At the doors, it'll really just be campers and staff. And then we'll have like a tent and kind of like a queue with the little like 6-foot thing, so people can keep some space when they're dropping off and picking up. And then we'll be, emphasizing outdoor time here. And then, the teachers will be wearing masks. The kids will be wearing masks when they're out, when they're here, as long as they're distanced and they're doing their activity. They won't actually have to because it's a small enough group. The other camp we run is called Urban Shredders, and that one we base out of Golconda Skate Park in downtown Brooklyn. That's for intermediate level skaters ages 9 to 15. And that one by design is outdoors all the time. What we had done in the past is they start at Golconda and they'll go anywhere all over the city. For this year, we're going to avoid any public transportation. So the street skating will be kind of in the vicinity of Golconda, but like with that, you've got a lot of downtown Brooklyn skate spots. You've got the, Brooklyn Borough Hall is a very popular spot with smooth flat ground and some stuff. There's that like long flat bank under the bridge in Dumbo. The Brooklyn waterfront's really nice. There's a bunch of different kind of side missions you can go on, and that group has always been pretty small, so we're not really having to modify that too much. We'll have plenty of hand wipes and hand sanitizer and stuff. We just ordered like 4 gallons of hand sanitizer yesterday, so we'll be slathering up our hands and washing them quite a bit. But we are really excited to be back skating with people. Even with the phase 1, we were able to have more than one person here at the shop, and it was great to see Danny and Joe last weekend here on site and do a little socially distanced mini ramp sesh. That was really, really cool. So that's summer camp news. Shop. Did I already say the shop stuff? I forget. Anyways, the shop, yeah, here we are at the shop. We're doing curbside pickup hours on Saturdays and Sundays from 1 to 4, and everything is up online. And get it while you can, because it's starting to run out. But hopefully that won't be the case. We still have plenty of different things here. Last week we had talked a little bit about our initial response to the Black Lives Matter movement and all of the, I think it's all of the sentiment of so many people after years and years of seeing this, just kind of the overt racist system in action. It's now kind of bubbled up to the point where it's totally a critical mass. And I think last week we were just kind of responding to that and voicing our support. Since then, I've personally been involved in some of the demonstrations that have been happening around Brooklyn. It's really like a powerful experience to check that out. I think if anyone was kind of like staying away for like safety concerns, it's definitely become a more organized movement, and the police response to it has become a bit, I don't know, to me at least it seemed that it's become more peaceful. So you can always check the Justice for George NYC Instagram to find out what's happening for the day. As a family, we went to the family march in Park Slope. That was last week. I went with my daughter to a press conference in Grand Army Plaza. And then this week, I marched with Educators for Justice. At Skate Yogi here, we definitely align with education and see that, through skateboarding, you can learn a lot, and that we're not just teaching skateboarding, but a lot of the things that you learn through skateboarding as life lessons, not to mention very practical things. So we definitely align with education and stand with everyone that is looking to improve the future for our children and to really make the education system more equitable for all, that equal access to education is a basic human right. So people should all have equal access to, regardless of where you live or the color of your skin. You should all have like equal access. That's just, that I firmly believe that everyone should be given access to education and healthcare and all of that, and that at the systemic level, that are the kind of changes that we need to push for. So SKATEYOGI is standing with Educators for Justice on that. It was a really powerful march. I think there was 5,000 of us out in the streets from Long Island University there, next to the Atlantic Center, marched to the Board of Education on Livingston Street, and then across the Brooklyn Bridge to the City Hall. And then the last event that is definitely in a group that we identify with, on Friday, there is a Skate for Black Lives. It meets at Continental Army Plaza. That's in Williamsburg, right at the base of the Williamsburg Bridge. In Williamsburg, it starts at, I think the march starts, or not the march, but the procession starts at 3 p.m. So get there a little early. I've seen it just kind of being posted throughout the skate world. Like first it was like New York, and then I think I saw Venture Trucks posted it. So it's a great testament to the solidarity in the skate community that we definitely rally behind a cause that we support. And I think you can count on a big turnout of skateboarders there to show support behind this. So I'll be there. I know. I think I heard Danny is also planning to be there. So if anyone else, this is definitely not like an event for a beginner skateboarder, I would think. But if you did want to participate, I think it said you could also, because we'll be skating through the streets. So probably more of a experienced skateboarder level. But then I think it also said bike and march. So I think it'll just be a big thing. So feel free to stop by and check it out. It'd be great to see you guys out there. Great. That's SKATEYOGI news. Let's get into, I think I've been sitting at this desk long enough. I want to go to the questions. Earlier today in our Instagram story, we just put up a quick little survey of any questions people have. We got a few questions in. The first question, actually, hold on, sorry, I gotta confirm the question. Got my thing here. How do I see this? Oh, I just go back to that post and I can see the responses. Okay. This is a good one. So this was submitted as a question that we've gotten a few times. What's the difference? Wait, what's the difference between a cruiser and a longboard? And I'm gonna write it in the chat here. Just what's the difference between a cruiser and a longboard? That's a great question. I think sometimes we get the question, what's the difference between a trick skateboard and a cruiser? What's the difference between a cruiser and a longboard? How am I going to answer that? I think because I'm not an experienced longboarder, to be honest, I've never really ridden a longboard very much. This classification is only my own opinion, but I would say that in a way, a longboard isn't a cruiser, but a cruiser isn't necessarily a longboard. So in the general category of skateboards, if you had an algorithm, there's what we call a skateboard, and this might be my street skating centric perspective. Oh, what's up, Corinne? Yeah, awesome. Cheers from France. Happy birthday. It's a day or two ago. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. We got someone in. So we've got our our standard skateboard. What we would call a skateboard is going to be your popsicle shape, the ones behind me with hard wheels. We use them for tricks. And then in the other category would be kind of boards that are more just transportations, like cruisers. And then there's definitely longboards. And then I'm sure like if I was more savvy with longboards, I would step in and say, well, wait a second, there's probably a lot of different, I'm sure there's a lot of different types of longboards for different purposes and everything. So let's start with the main distinction between a cruiser and a longboard. And I think I'm going to bring you over to our rack of cruisers and longboards. I'll put you down here. Hello. All right. So cruisers and longboards. Simply put, I would say the difference between a cruiser and a longboard is that a longboard is long. Oh, we sold the other one, so we really only have one right now. The wheelbase, which is the distance between the wheels on most skateboards, is pretty typically. Oh man, don't fact check me on this, but I want to say like anywhere from like 13.5 to like 16. 16 might be kind of wide, but it's a pretty like narrow range of a wheelbase where like if you can see this row, like everything from the green one down, the wheelbase is pretty similar. And then all of a sudden at the top one, you see the wheels are quite a bit farther apart. The benefit of that is that when you have the wheels farther apart, it's going to be more stable. So when you step on it, it kind of like triangulates wider. So it's not as, it doesn't like scoot back and forth as quickly. So it's going to feel more stable. It's not going to slip out like we call it like a Mr. Wilson or a banana peel. Like you step on the board and it slips out like that. Like on a longboard, it won't do that as easily because you've got your center of weight between the two wheels, and it's much easier to keep that. The main distinction, longboard, like this, and then let's see. Okay, so this is probably a good comparison of a cruiser board. So I don't have the wide angle on, so you can't really see this very good. Let me kick you back. You're on a box right now. Okay. So you see the difference there, the difference of the wheelbase. Both a cruiser and a longboard typically have the bigger and softer wheels because you're not worried about tricks. The softer wheel is going to help absorb a lot of the vibration and impact from any of the rough surfaces you're riding on. It's going to give you a much smoother feel. A cruiser board is going to be like, because it's shorter, it's going to be a bit more nimble for skating in the city environment. You're going to have narrower turns. Like when you carve, it's going to be quicker. It's also a smaller, maybe more portable board like that. A longboard is a little bigger. I think this one isn't even that heavy, but kind of like sometimes I think of it as like if you're in like the river and you're on a cruise ship versus like a little motorboat, like you're not a motorboat, like a little speedboat. Like the cruise is more like the speedboat, and the longboard's like a bigger thing, so it's more stable, but it's gonna like take a little more time to run. So when you're in like city environments and you're stopping and starting a lot and like going around curves for corners, or you have to stop and start because you're hitting a lot of intersections. I've seen a lot of people that are more beginner on longboards kind of have to jump off their longboard and pick it up. Whereas like on a cruiser board, you can skate it a little, like stop and start like a little faster and be able to kick on the tail and bring it up. So it's a little more manageable there. But I don't know, I think there's probably a time and a place for longboard. Like if you were gonna just start off and you really wanted that extra stability, and you're just going to go to the park to kind of like feel the carves and surf around, maybe that's good. But if you're looking for like more of a transportation type board in the city, my recommendation is usually something more like this. Or a cruiser board could even be like a standard skateboard and just with softer wheels. So sometimes you get like similar to a longboard wheel and put that on the regular board, or you can get like a Ricta Cloud, where it even looks like a freestyle wheel, but it's actually the same softness as a longboard wheel. So you kind of get like I don't know, it looks like you're like an undercover. It's like an undercover board. What do I mean by undercover board? No, it looks like a normal skateboard, but it actually has soft wheels. It's like, Or then we also have these like hybrid wheels that are pretty nice. Got a bunch of those. We ordered a bunch of those before everything. So if you need a hybrid wheel, we've got a bunch. Let me show you those. I'll do a quick pitch for these. This is Mini Logo. This is kind of like Powell Peralta's more like generic, like price point brand. It's still like great quality stuff. So we get some of their stuff for like, more like price point products. And we got a bunch of these Mini Logo 90A. See that? 90A hybrids. And don't worry about the phone, guys. I'm going to let it go to the voicemail. I'll get that later. Probably someone asking about summer camp, so I can get back to them later. The 90A number is the durometer rating. That's the number that describes how soft or how hard a wheel is. And so at the softest range, it's 78A. So like those longboards I just showed you are a 78A. That's going to be usually as soft, like on the A scale, as you get a skateboard wheel. And then on the higher end, like a 101A is like the hardest. So 90A, you can tell, is like it's in between. It's a little closer to hard, but it's definitely a huge difference versus like a really hard wheel. So this one, it's 53 millimeters. That's the diameter, which is a typical street wheel size. So when you're riding on it, you can still feel the ground underneath, but it's kind of muffled a bit. I find like I've put a lot, like even in the last weekend, I put a lot of these wheels on boards for adult beginners and even someone that's like pretty decent at skating but just wants to be able to get around and have fun. And they said it's a lot different than like a hard wheel. Like, oh, here's a good. So this is the Mini Logo. This is a 101A. Let me do this. See that? Can you hear that? Pretty hard. And then hear this. Hello. It's got the knock test got a slightly different sound. So these wheels, oh, this is an assorted one. These are all the same wheel. It's just different colors. We sell these for 25 bucks. So if you have a board and you're sick of riding hard wheels and you want to try out a slightly softer wheel, you could bring it by for curbside pickup, drop off, pick up, drop off, pick up, drop it off, and pick it up. We can put these on for you. You might have fun, especially nowadays when people are trying to avoid the subway. I know you see a lot more people on city bikes. Skateboards are, besides being a great way to get around and have fun. Get around and have fun. You could also get around and get from point A to point B. Hey, Danny, what's up? I'm answering your question still about, or it was via you, the question about cruisers and longboards, and I went off on a wheel tangent. So I'm still talking about wheels, but I'm getting dings. Somehow my daughter's friends, when they message the phone, it goes here. Sorry, it's dinging a lot. I need to maybe, why does that keep dinging? Let me see if I could minimize that or something. Sorry about that. Wheels are important. Wheels are important. I think, I almost feel like sometimes the wheels are more important than the board itself. Like it can make a bigger difference for you because, really like a half-inch difference. Hello, who's Buvik? Hi. I'm gonna write here. Ask any questions you have. Yeah, what was I saying? So wheels are important. I mean, I think like, so if you're a trick skater, you're going to ride pretty much like, not trick skater, like you're a street skater, you're going to ride hard wheels. The size of the wheel could be really important. Even like a couple millimeter difference is going to like really change how it feels. But if you're talking about changing durometers, the difference between a 51 millimeter hard wheel, which, a complete could come with, versus a 55 millimeter, like 78, like soft wheel, it's like a completely different thing. I mean, learning how to skate is going to be similar on both, but the amount of effort and precision that's required to maneuver a board with softer wheels is much less. So you're going to have a great time. I'll tell you a personal story that I tell sometimes. I didn't ride any other kind of wheels besides rock hard wheels for like the first 20 years of my skateboarding. I was like, I started skating in the 90s and things had to be like a certain way. And I got into a mindset, like a state, like, all right, it has to be a hard wheel. Like even if I'm skating for miles and miles and you have to get out into the street or find like smooth areas. And it wasn't until my daughter was old enough and we were riding to her preschool together. Oh, Sakura, hello. Once I started riding with her to school and she had her scooter and I had a skateboard, like my regular skateboard. And I find myself like, I'm trying to pay attention to her, but I'm also paying attention to the cracks and like every little thing. I don't want to fall. And maybe I like fall and like hurt my hand or something. I finally decided to go out and get a cruiser board. And actually the cruiser board I have this isn't the exact one I first got, but it was the same exact components. Oh, that's dark right there. Okay, I'm gonna look at that question in 1 second after I tell my story. So this is the cruiser board that I ride. I've had this one for about 2 years. It's a little shorter than a normal board, but about as like a little bit narrower. I think these are 129s, like the trucks are Indy 129s. So that means they are 7.5-inch axle, and the wheels are shut suction cups. You probably can't even see that. It's a 59 millimeter soft longboard wheel. Because the trucks are so narrow, I actually don't need a riser. So that's something that's kind of good to consider. If you have a wider board and big wheels, you're going to get this thing called wheel bite. So when you carve, you're going to push here. And like, so when you carve, the distance here shortens. And if your board is wide, you can imagine with a bigger wheel, this area is smaller and that can touch. And that will stop you dead in your tracks and you're going to fall, you're going to jump right off your board. But on this board, because it's so narrow and I have enough space there, I don't need to have a riser. And that's nice because with 59 millimeter wheels and no riser, it doesn't really feel like I'm that high off the board. It looks like, okay. Looks like my daughter's on. I just says hi daddy in the chat. So hi Iris. Maybe I'm not supposed to use your name, whatever. All right. My daughter's on the line. So that's my cruiser board. You might be wondering about this. That's actually, I've had this board for 2 years and I ride it almost every day. That's where the ball of my back foot goes when I stand on it. So I've actually worn it down. All right, cool. Let me check that question. Corinne had a question. How would you describe the shape of the wheels between the small and big soft for cruiser longboard? I got asked this question today and wasn't sure how to answer. That is a good question. I get asked that question a lot too. And I'm going to try my best to answer it the way I would, but I think I kind of I dodge it sometimes because I don't know if I know the exact physics behind it. I think what you're asking, Corinne, is like if you were looking at a cruiser wheel, like some of them are really wide like this. And then some of them, even at this size, might be, oh yeah, here I have one right here. Oops. See, like this one is more like rounded off and shorter. So there's a few things that are going to be different between those two shapes, even with the same size. The shape that's wider is going to be heavier. So that's the first thing you need to consider. Literally the amount of mass that it takes up. It's going to be a heavier wheel. And then I think the amount of surface area, so like a wider wheel might give you more, how do I say this? Like a square wheel I think it makes it more stable. Like it's not going to slide, and like it feels more because you're more grounded. Literally, you have more surface area touching the board at once. That might correlate to speed. I don't know what the correlation will be, whether it's faster or slower. But I know for trick wheels, when you talk about wheels that are more rounded, are typically more like for like slides and tricks, and wheels that are more like squared off or conical are more like ramp riding. So I feel like maybe it helps you grip the ramp, like the surface area of the ramp. So I hope that helps, but I really should kind of get a better response on that. Maybe we can Google it really quick together, but that's, it could be overwhelming a bit. Like when you look at even, for example, like we carry a lot of Spitfire Formula 4s. That's like their quality, like their premium. I don't know if it's premium's the right word, but their best. Okay, cool. I hope that, yeah, I know. I've had that question. I'm like, yeah, I feel like with a longboard wheel that's wider, it feels more stable, and like a narrower one is more like for tricks and stuff. But yeah, I'm not sure if that's like a perfect analogy. I think it does make more sense. But then even within, awesome, even within Spitfire, like I was saying, Formula 4, there are 6 different shapes. So they have classic, they have ones that are radial, there's even narrower. They have ones that are conical, which is a different shape. Like even just for example, yeah, here's 2 mini logo wheels. So this is classic. This is more of a classic, where they call it C cut. And you can see it's like, it's rounded. And so this would be considered more for like tricks. If you can imagine, if you were like locked into a Smith grind or a crooked grind, the tangent on the curve is going to help you minimize your surface area. But then this one here is this is called their A cut, which would be more of a conical shape. And I think this one gives you more width, like it's more efficiently for width versus the surface area. But if you were doing something like, there's definitely like sharp corners here. So if you're doing something like a Smith grind or a crooked grind, you might actually end up like getting in a weird friction situation. Yeah. Personally speaking, I've ridden, like on my trick setup, I've ridden both conical and classics, and I don't really know if I like, I don't know if I detect much of a difference. Cool. All right. Thanks for the question. That's what we're here for questions. We're all hanging out. Oh wait, I forgot to look. I can look and see. Wait, if I click somewhere, I can see who's on. Ah. All right, cool. All right, the next question I want to answer from a friend of ours. He goes to school in the neighborhood. Classic because of the surface area hitting the road. Surface area hitting the road. I like conical fulls. Oh, Danny, you ride conical fulls? Wow. Surface area hitting the road. Everyone has their preferences. That's interesting. One time I ordered a pair of conical fulls on accident. I think that was before you were here. I did not know you rode conical fulls. Let me see if I can see this next question. Osagi Man. Yeah, he stops by sometimes. He's a friend of ours. I think he goes to school up the street. He wrote, what is a kickflip? So we're going to answer that for him. And what a better way to answer that than to show you guys. This came through Danny. This was sent to Danny earlier today. Demonstrate, yes. I'm trying. Okay. I'm gonna do that. I will demonstrate a kickflip. I've got to like. I'll demonstrate a kickflip in a second. I can't guarantee that you're gonna see any proper kickflips. I'm gonna make excuses. I haven't done a lot of kickflips lately. my foot was feeling kind of funky from running and stuff, so I've been skating more ramp stuff. Yeah, all right. I'll demonstrate a kickflip. But first, I have an even better representation of a kickflip here. One of our students sent this in. She's been working really hard on her kickflips lately, and she sent this in to Danny. I think maybe her mom filmed this, and it's a nice little slow-mo video of one of her recent kickflips she got. And it's probably a better, so Osagi-man, if you're out there, check this out, and then stay tuned for my demonstration. But let me set it up for a second. So let me just like talk about it, because I love to talk about stuff. A kickflip is basically, it used to be called an Ollie kickflip because it's an Ollie with one extra move. There used to be, like in freestyle skateboarding, there was a number of different ways to flip the board, and they were called kickflips. This one was invented by Rodney Mullen, basically by taking the action of an Ollie. So I'm going to do this on my phone. An Ollie is where your foot is on the tail, and then you pop your tail, which sends let me. You're here, and you pop your tail. That gets you up into the air, and then your front foot slides up and levels off, and then you drop down, right? So these are my feet. I know this is kind of weird. So an Ollie kickflip, or what we now call a kickflip, just for simplicity's sake, because it's the main one that we do, is like this. So you pop the board up, and then as you're sliding your front foot up, you actually flick on your toe side, and it flips the board. And ideally, with a nice one, you still get this like little arc. So you pop it up, flip, catch it, and then land. So you Ollie, snap the tail, as they would say in a trick tip. Snap the tail, slide your foot up, flip on your toe side, catch the flip, and land, and then ride away. And that's how you do a kickflip. Let me show you our student who sent hers in. Pretty awesome. This is going to be a high-tech. Oh, wait, how do I do this? Okay. Here we go. Ready? Can you see it? Yeah. Nice. She's stoked. I'll do that one more time. That's worth watching again. One more time. Yeah. Great execution. I was going to say, yeah, caught it with her back foot. That's really how you want to catch a kickflip. You kind of let your front foot come back on it. You pop it up in, and then you land it. Yeah, she had, let's see. Let me get to the. Right here. All right. Where are we? Okay, flip. Foot is out, and then right here, back foot's looking for it, catches it. Her front foot, look at this, way, and then just bring it back in. It's really all about that back foot when you're catching a kickflip. All right, it's time to go in the back and start skating. Think of any skate-related questions. Anything you'd like me to demonstrate? Anything on the ramp would be great. I mean, anything is fine, but I'm quite partial to ramp these days. All right, here we go. Let me put you. For a second there, I wasn't sure if I was wearing my. Did I change into my skate shoes? Nowadays, I wear my running shoes a lot. They're comfier, but I am wearing my skate shoes. All right. All right. How many tries do you think I can land this kickflip in? Think I can do it first try? I don't know. We'll see. saw you, man. This is for you. I didn't even do any of my stretches. 5? Oh my God. I think I can probably, we'll see. I didn't get it first. Oh, that one was pretty nice. That one would have been a nice one, and then I wouldn't have to do this anymore. What's that, 3? One more and that's it. I know. Counts. Let me see. I feel like you guys think I like cats? It's kind of weird. I feel a little bit like this cat right now. I think it's like yawning. Maybe I need to be more like this cat. Find my balance. Whew. All right, if I can do this one, that would be great. I feel like I'm gonna bump into this thing. I'm gonna just go straight. I'm gonna give you guys a better view of it. They're getting worse. Danny knows I won't let that one be the last one. Ah. Oh, would you send me a slow-mo kickflip to your phone? Okay. Whew. Let me take a break. You guys can tell I haven't done kickflips in a while. I don't know. I used to love that trick. I don't know. I feel like a lot of times I don't even pop it. Bend the knees. Yeah. I think I'm like trying to do it without effort, but it takes effort to do it. Oh, here we go. Wait. I want to watch it with you guys. Let me save this. All right, Danny's going to show us how it's done. Show us how it's done. Wait, where did that go? It's in my messages right here. How come? Okay, here we go. Yeah. I got a weird one. This is my peculiar situation I'm in right now. I bet I can land a kickflip to Fakie on the mini ramp easier than I can land a kickflip on flat ground, because in a weird way, the physics of the mini ramp makes it more. Yeah, that was a good. Danny, you got a good kickflip there. All right. I'm gonna try a couple kickflips here on the mini ramp. Maybe that'll warm me up for a flat ground kickflip. I kind of feel like I have a mission to like land a proper kickflip before this live stream ends, which is only in a few minutes. But let me do a few. Do I have any requests for, not a request, trick tips? Let's see. Oh, what's up, Leah? Awesome. Now it's a nice little warm up. It's kind of warm in here. Woo! I can do a kickflip now on this ramp. Maybe. One more, then I'm going back to flat ground. Cat stickers? I have one on each truck. My front and back truck, cat stickers. But I also have cat grip tape, and it's a Hello Kitty board. I bet I have, oh, one right there. Ah, good question. All right. Corinne is asking, when rock to fakie, do you keep watching the coping until you finish lifting the board? Or you watch the other side before that motion? I think in skateboarding, as in life, it's always a good idea to look where you're going. So with that said, when you're doing a rock to fakie or any fakie trick in general, after the point where you've gotten into it and you're starting to get out of it, I think it's really helpful to at least be somewhat glancing in position towards the direction that you're about to go. So meaning like looking back. That doesn't mean you're going to be looking like twisting straight so that you're only looking at the back coping, like where you're about to go. But I think that even just a subtle change in glance from looking forward to looking back, like to the corner of your eye, is going to help. Landing higher. Okay. Yeah, so let me do a rock to fakie. You can kind of see what I mean by that, or if that makes sense. So that confirms it. Yeah, I think it's good, like spot check, like make sure you're getting into the rock and everything is good. But that once you're into it, you're kind of like looking towards the other way, but not like completely. Awesome. Do you have any tips for landing higher ollie? Yes, definitely. Tips for landing higher ollies. Just like without seeing what you're doing, a few common things to help like get your ollies higher. One would be to crouch down and like as you pop and jump up, to use your hands and really get your get your weight up. So you don't want to be too heavy on your board. So you want to kind of like kick. And then another thing that I've been given as really good advice to get your Ollie higher in particular is, you know, when you're sliding, when you're sliding your front foot up, I got this piece of advice a while back and it was really helpful. So when your foot's here and you're sliding up, don't aim for this part, actually aim for the very tip of your board. So it really gets you to go like, to pull the board and like to send your whole weight up. I think sometimes what happens is you see people when they first Ollie, they kind of like slide halfway up and they almost like get in their own way. Like they start to push down too early. So if you slide all the way up, it might feel weird, like your foot's gonna go off the board, but I'll tell you the worst thing that could possibly happen if you're doing that and you're really mid-Ollie is that you'll end up doing a one-footer, which is a cool trick. So give that a try, slide up, aim for your front, and then really crash down and try to like blast off and use your hands. I hope that helps for your Ollies. I might as well do a few Ollies. Hey, we've got a few more minutes. My stationary Ollies aren't much to be desired. So if you're kind of Ollieing and only going like a little bit, you see that my front went pretty far up, but my back wasn't going too high. But then if I compare that one to this one where I'm going to really try to pull my front to the edge of the board, get a little higher. Oh! That just happened. All right. So it happened on live TV. Leah, I just cracked my tail. I just cracked my tail pretty bad. Yeah, there it is. You see? You see that? You probably heard it too. So I'm going to end on this one. I guess it's time for a new skateboard for me. Here we go. Oh yeah, you guys can see it. It's really bad. So just to let you know, kids at home, I know it feels good to break a board. I'm not breaking my board because it's not broken already, but you can see the crack right there. So I'm going to obliterate this board. Oh man, let me try that again. Can't even do this. All right. Let me try to do it. All right. That last one was karma because the nose wasn't even. It's because you stomp bolts all. Yeah, right. That last one was karma because I didn't crack my tail and I tried to crack it. And I don't have the aggression in me or whatever it is that requires you to be able to break a board. That isn't already cracked, but my back cracked. So the last tip before we sign off, guys, is whenever you land a trick, it's good to land it on the bolts. I think on that one of those Ollies, when I landed, my foot was a little bit more towards the tail than it should have been. So just the weight of myself landing the trick cracked the tail. So time for a new skateboard for me. It's probably about time anyways. I think I've had this one for at least a few months. I think I set this one up in the early part of the year. So definitely time for a new board. And with that, thank you guys for logging in to hang out. We will be here the same time, same place. If you've got any questions before, any trick tips or gear suggestions, or really anything, we'll be here next Wednesday. All right, until then, see you guys. Stay safe. Peace. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, everybody. Woo.